our princess. You have gone far, Melinoe, and you bested me. Gave me quite a scrape at that. There is much left to be done, but you are learning.
Thank you, Headmistress. Although I know that I could not have bested you had you held nothing back.
You know? Why do you self-impose such limits on your capability? Alter your thoughts. I shall see you again out there.
What did you say to me? Hecate? Thank you. I mean so much. You're so awesome. I never had a role model like that growing up. You know what mine would be like as I was growing up? They'd be like, huh? You want to go to the hell, bad boy? Let I help you. Hi, my name is Lee, and welcome to Critical Feels. I love video games that make me feel good and inspire me. And Critical Feels is all about sharing those kinds of moments with you and talking about why they're so meaningful. Today, I want to talk about a certain piece of dialogue between Melinoe and Hecate in Hades 2. So Melinoe is the daughter of Hades, and she's also the main protagonist that you play as in Hades 2. In the beginning of the game, Melinoe is trying to reach the underworld because of reasons, and encounters enemies and bosses along the way. Hecate is Melinoe's mentor, and also the first boss that she encounters every time she tries to go into the underworld. And so far, it seems that Hecate is testing Melinoe's strength and progress every time they fight. Whether you reach the underworld or not, after each run that you do, you end up coming back into Shadow, this safe haven. And what I find beautiful about this game are the wonderful characters here and the massive amount of dialogue and events that you get into with them. So each time you come back into Shadow, they always have something new to say. At least I haven't played enough to exhaust anyone's dialogue yet. It's that incredible. So when I got to this point in Hecate's dialogue, I was just like, I feel that. I felt that. Hecate's response to Melinoe is so nice. Like, it really seems like Hecate loves and really cares about Melinoe, right? And since they have to fight each other so many times, you would think that, like, if it were anyone else other than Hecate and they had that same dialogue, they probably wouldn't be as supportive and probably put her down, or they probably boost their own ego, right? You want to go to the hell, bad boy? But for Hecate, no. What she says, she points out to Melinoe that, hey, it's your self-limiting beliefs that are affecting how you view yourself. Not only is that incredibly supportive, but that's incredibly deep. Because we know Melinoe is more than capable as a warrior and as a person, right? But like, to be able to change your self-imposed beliefs by altering your own thoughts of yourself, that is incredibly deep. That's just, like, it really resonates with me on a personal level. It reminds me of times when I didn't have any confidence in myself and believed that I wasn't good enough to do a lot of things. Or whenever I felt sad or really lonely or even lost in life, I always find myself playing a good game in search for meaningful things like this. Because it's moments like these that really reach out to me when I'm going through a hard time. And it's incredibly inspiring, especially when I don't have anyone around me to tell me stuff like this. It's almost as if the game itself is speaking directly to me and knows who I am. And I really appreciate that feeling when it comes to video games. Because to be real, it's moments like these that I wish I could experience in my own life. Or wish that I could have had someone like this character in my life to tell me that I'm more than enough. Or to help me change the way I see things, because I don't know any better. In Melinoe's case, she's just a really, really nice person, and she's always showing gratitude to others, which I love. When Melinoe receives a compliment from Hecate about how far she's come, and when she beat Hecate, Melinoe sells herself short by saying that she knows that Hecate would have beaten her if she didn't hold back. This is where I feel like I can kinda get where Melinoe's coming from, and why she phrased her words the way that she did. So we know Melinoe is very nice, right? And Hecate is her mentor, and also kind of like a mom to her. So when Hecate's like, wow, you beat me, you're doing pretty good, Melinoe is probably not used to that kind of praise or compliments from her. And so Melinoe is sort of like, oh, yeah, well, thank you. You did great too. And I know you could have beat me easily if you wanted to, since, you taught me how to fight and all. And you're awesome. Like, that's Melinoe being too nice again, right? But also putting herself down without realizing it, just a little bit. And so when someone gives me a compliment, it's incredibly hard for me to accept, because I always have this fear that if I accept it, the other person would probably think that, oh, maybe he's just arrogant, or he's going to brag about it. He's going to gloat about it. And I'm so stuck in that fear of how they may react that I instead choose to focus on complimenting them back. But see, like, what I'm doing there, because of that fear, is that I'm also putting myself down because I'm not acknowledging the credit of what I'm actually capable of, not accepting the compliment for what it is. I know this isn't the same situation. Melinoe is not doing that. But that's why I feel like that's meaningful. And I think it matters because words can be very powerful, and even in subtle ways that you wouldn't expect. And I'm not saying it's Melinoe's fault or anyone else's fault for phrasing things in those ways where it puts you down and compliments someone else. Not at all. Because it could have totally been unintentional. It could have been like a habit or something that you just kind of grew up believing and you're just so used to it. It's coming from an old belief system. It's kind of like being in an MMO and someone tells you that you're not good enough to join the raid party because of mistakes that you make. But in reality, you've cleared this raid more than 10 times with randos. That's a fact, right? And I feel like it's bad when you're actually the one who believes those things about yourself. Like, you don't let yourself join raid parties because you actually doubt yourself and you're afraid to let other people down. Like, where is that belief coming from? Are you believing in that doubt, or are you giving yourself credit for clearing that raid 10 times with randos? I know that example isn't exactly the same as Melinoe and Hecate's situation, but it's the last thing that Hecate says that's super meaningful.
You know. Why do you self-impose such limits on your capability? Alter your thoughts.
That is so powerful. Like, I feel like this is a concept that not a lot of people realize that they have that kind of power, or at least not until they reach a certain point in their lives. It's different for everybody. On a deeper level, this means to not only change your thoughts, but to be able to change your perception of yourself. I was so used to listening to other people's opinions about me that I began to believe them. And it wasn't until much later on in my life that I learned that it's actually my own thoughts about myself that define who I am. And that essentially, I was the one allowing other people's opinions to define me, because somehow I chose to believe them. And now I think it's because I just didn't know any better. And after hearing Hecate say this, it just really moved me. I know a lot of gamers out there who like to joke about themselves and self-deprecate for fun, and that's okay. Because after all, sometimes it really is just said for fun and just to be funny. But I only believe it matters if it actually affects you in some way, without even being aware that it might be. It could affect you so much to the point that it can hold you back from doing things that you want to do, because you don't feel like you're good enough, or because you're afraid of failing, or even reinforcing negative things that you may believe about yourself. And if it's affecting someone who doesn't have kind and supportive people in their life, no mentors, no friends or family to listen to you, or even to be on the same page with, or even not being able to afford having a pet that would always love you back, it can feel terrible and lonely. But you know what? You know what you could have? You can have a mommy witch mentor. You can have Greek gods for family who love and support you. Oh, and a cute frog who will listen to anything that you have to say. In Hades 2. I hope this makes you want to play more games like Hades 2. Games that make you feel good, that are meaningful to you. Because I think it matters when it matters to you. And makes you feel a certain way, right? Like, okay, so it makes you feel like, like... Whether you're a gamer or not, you deserve to be happy. So no matter what you say about yourself, no matter what you think about yourself, don't worry. Because you're always going to have the ability to alter your thoughts whenever you want to. If you like playing games for feels, then consider liking, subscribing, and giving a comment down below on games that give you critical feels so that I can check it out and I might talk about it. Thank you for watching.